Good morning, scavengers. Hello. It's James and Jessica once again. We are here for another week's live show. Thank you guys for joining us. Say hello in the chat as you pop on in. Hello, Mary Brown. And let's pull up my comments. There's Mary Brown. Hello. I hope you're having a fantastic day.
Hi, Tim.
We
Hi,
are
Mary.
doing well. And Tim, thank you for joining us today. Hope you're having a great day.
Yeah, James has his coffee. I have my fake wine.
Your fake wine.
Yeah.
She's becoming a wino, y'all.
I said it's fake.
Hope you're feeling better, Tim. Hope things are getting better and better for you. I know it's been rough for you.
Hi, Tim. It's nice to see you.
Minute and a half. So today we're going to be talking about our storage unit finds. I thought I would be a little whimsical whenever I was doing that, so that's why I did the toilet paper on my thumbnail. Yeah, we're doing good. It's been kind of hectic the last few days. We went to Dallas, and we'll be talking about that a little bit later on.
Oh, yeah.
But we had a trip for Emily for a doctor's appointment, and then we came home, and we didn't have a nurse for the first couple of days this week. So we've had our hands full with kids, but that's life. So we're doing all right. We're making it.
Yeah, tomorrow we have kids too, right?
Yep. So let's see. Go to live chat. Well, that's good news.
Oh, I'm glad
the doctor
to hear that,
called
Tom.
today, and the sonogram they did on his neck was clear. Well, that's good in that they didn't find anything, but it's bad that they're still not figuring out what's going on. So I hope they figure out what's going on and that they're able to narrow down where the issues are.
Yeah, I agree. Hopefully they can find something. I know what it feels like, Tim. that for a little bit,
the
for
stress,
3 months, that's what
worry.
They were worried about me too. They couldn't find what was going on with me.
Yep.
So
we will keep you in our prayers still. So
what are we going to be talking about today?
Well, today, we're always talking about the reselling side of things and, how we sell the stuff. And I thought today we'd, have a little bit different discussion and talk about some of the storage unit finds and stuff that we keep and use for ourselves instead of trying to sell it or donate it or get rid of it. So there's a lot of stuff. Of course, when you buy a storage unit, you own everything in that unit, whether you want it or not. So there's a lot of stuff that we've kept to upgrade our own lifestyles. And, just because sometimes some of the stuff that we have is nicer than what we already have. So we thought we would talk about some of the stuff that we've kept out of storage units and let other people chime in on things that they keep out of storage units if they have anything to add as well. And I know some people, there's a lot of opinions about it. Some people are like, oh, you don't ever keep anything, you sell it all. And some people are like, I know people that buy storage units just to keep the stuff. And we've actually had units that we bid on just because there was stuff in there that we wanted.
But we also sold it at the same
time.
And
then we also sold other stuff out of the unit. We still made our money back at least. So essentially we got that stuff for free.
And you have to weigh out the pros and cons of that. Well, were you going to buy something like that to begin with anyways? And if you were, well, then you may want to consider, if it's something that you found in there, then you may want to consider keeping it.
Yep. We find all kinds of stuff. And I was kind of joking around when I made the thumbnail with the storage unit gold. But toilet paper is something, especially with the situation earlier this year, we find toilet paper, we are keeping that sucker. That goes in our own storage. Clorox wipes, hand sanitizer. Where's that jug of hand sanitizer?
Well, let me go get it.
Yeah, go grab it. We found this one unit that we had a ton of hand sanitizer in that unit. And guess what? That became very, very useful. We were laughing about it when we found it back in December. But I tell you what, come March, we were glad we had it. We found a ton of hand sanitizer. It was a homeless unit that we did back in December. We found lots of little bottles. We found some big bottles.
This big anymore.
Yeah, you can't even find this, but look at this. This is just a small sample of the hand sanitizer we got out of one unit.
Hi, Effie.
I'll tell you what, this year, that stuff has been like having gold in our house because, especially with Emily and the nurses and everybody in and out and everybody using hand sanitizer and I couldn't get any, we had it.
We did. And then I scored some Lysol spray and I scored some of the Clorox wipes.
We got Clorox wipes, usually kitchen stuff like dish soap and cleaning supplies. Those consumable stuff like that, we keep a lot of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't keep all of it. I mean, some of y'all have been to some of our auctions where we try to sell some of that stuff as well. The bathroom stuff does sell on eBay, even partially used ones. That stuff will sell. It's just a pain in my butt to list a lot of it. So, and I mean, I have a whole closet shelf that's nothing but bathroom stuff that we've kept.
Shampoo, body wash,
conditioner, razors,
yeah,
soap, pretty much. I mean, anything.
Yeah,
and we're not just talking about. We're talking about. Okay, I have this one here. It's kind of crushed, but I have these right here. Irish Spring bath soap, which is getting harder and harder to find. I found like 8 bars in one storage unit, brand new, still in the package.
I heard they're good for mosquitoes, to ward off mosquitoes. Is that true?
No.
I was just curious.
Most of your perfumed soaps, the perfumes in those soap is what attracts mosquitoes. That's why you get bit so much and I don't, because you use all those perfume smelling, fancy smelling soaps and stuff all the time. Hey, Trent.
Hey, Trent.
Hope you're having a great day, Trent. Thank you for joining us today. That's all right. We just got started a few minutes ago, so we're still kind of greeting and saying hi to everybody. So, yep. Some of the older toiletry stuff, they don't make anymore, and people want it. We found a old Sonicare electric toothbrush that still works, and I got the charger for it. That's going to be going up on my eBay pretty soon.
Need gold dial. Effie, I don't know if we have
gold dial. Yeah, that's one thing I haven't found is the gold dial.
Hi, Michelle.
But yeah, I mean, stuff like that, if we find it, if it's used, I do find used soap. A lot of that stuff, I won't keep all of it, but if it's brand new in the box and it's still in the packaging, I will use that stuff. Toothpaste, body wash, all that kind of stuff. I mean, I found the last unit that I found 3 boxes of Crest toothpaste still in the box. They had never been opened.
It's O positive, except they don't like James's blood because he's a Nick fitter. They love my blood. Like, I could be in a group of 15 people and the mosquitoes will be attacking me.
One of the few, and it's not a reason to do it, but one of the few advantages to being a smoker is mosquitoes don't like nicotine. So they don't bite me. I don't have a problem with mosquitoes. I can walk through a swarm of mosquitoes and they won't bite me because they don't like the nicotine.
No, they find me and they bite me instead. So.
Oh, wow. You're allergic to everything, even if it's not gold. Wow.
Yeah. That's sad.
A lot of people have a lot of allergies and stuff. So you have to be careful about that kind of stuff that you keep. If you do have allergies, luckily we don't have any allergies to that kind of stuff. So we're pretty much good with whatever we find. And if you're not picky about what brands you have and what brands you can use, then getting that, we get a lot of that stuff out of stores, and it saves us a ton of money.
We have like a big thing of Pantene sitting inside our storage. Other stuff too inside for shampoo. What else besides that? Clothes.
So clothes.
Especially
more.
Clothes.
We found a bunch of clothes in one of our units just a couple of months ago. We found a bunch of 2Ts. Well, Jesse's just getting into 2Ts.
So guess what we
kept? We kept almost all the 2T clothes. Yes. And they are attracted to estrogen.
Oh, they know.
We're talking about that. Yeah, I don't have enough estrogen. That's my problem. They think I'm a buffet. Maybe you got too much estrogen, Tim.
I don't think that. I think it'd be the other way around. He's got too much alpha in him. But anyways, yeah, so we bought a whole bunch of the 2 tees, and I think there were even some shoes in there.
We found shoes, we found 2 tees. I found a whole bunch. I found like, I don't know, 7 or 8 pairs of Air Jordans for toddlers. Unfortunately, when we finally got around to trying them on, Jesse outgrew them. No, I only brought 1 pair home. I found like 7 or 8.
Yeah, so I guess we found 7 or 8. Hi, Susanna.
Hello, Susanna. Thank you for joining us today. We're just chatting about some of the storage unit stuff that we actually keep and use ourselves instead of trying to sell it or get rid of it. And then, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. I've found books. I like to read, and I read a lot of personal development.
Sell, but I think they would, but that's just me.
When you start looking at the comps and you see that it's worth like 50 cents, $1, it costs more for me to sell it than it costs for me than I would make from selling it.
Sell it like you would DVDs. I mean, that's just what I would say. I love books. I would rather read a book than read a Kindle or read a whatever, those little digital things.
There's some people do, and there's some titles you have to look them up because some titles do sell really well, but some don't. But there's some books that I've read that I've found that I'm like, hey, I've been looking for that book, or hey, I used to have a copy of that book and I've lost it.
Like James.
So I like a lot of personal development stuff. Of course, trying to run a business, I read a lot of business stuff.
Hi,
so
Ma.
Anytime I find that kind of stuff, hello, Ma. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're not giving Tim too much of a hard time being at home all the time. And so, I keep a lot of the books when I find them, if they're the right ones, if the right types of books. Otherwise, we either sell them, and sometimes even books. I mean, it's not much, but take them down to half-price books, and you get a whole bunch of them. You take a couple of cases into half-price books, you might get $10-15 for them. Better than throwing them away, putting them in the trash, which is where this stuff was going if we didn't buy it. So, that's another thing to consider doing. That's something I've done before. I've taken a couple of cases of books over to half-price books, and they make us an offer on what they're willing to pay us for them, and we decide whether or not we're willing to take that or not. It's better than nothing sometimes, and sometimes it's better than what you're going to get selling them elsewhere. Also, one of the things that you can do is you can lot them up into cases and you can sell them on eBay. I know people that are selling cases of books and they're being bought by like bookstores and other stuff like that.
You could open up your own bookstore in that case. Yeah, Trent, you could open up your bookstore. That's a pretty good price for
1,531 books.
Yep.
I mean, if you sold them at 50 cents a piece, you're making some really. Yeah. I mean, you make some really good money if you sold them for 50 cents a piece. So maybe lot them up into categories. Say this is all romance novels. This is all mystery novels, and lot them up and sell them off on eBay. You can sell them as a mystery box of books. And I know that because I had a friend of mine several years ago that they were actually starting up a bookstore, and that's how they were getting inventory to start their bookstore, was buying lots of books off of eBay.
We do have recycling available to us. We don't really recycle our books. Our books are still here, so we don't really dump them. To me,
we try to recycle some of what we can.
Yeah, we try to recycle.
We try to donate what we can,
like to churches.
But there's when you start getting into storage units, there is so much stuff that's just absolute trash. And we sort out what I can recycle. I sort it out and recycle. We do have a recycling pickup that picks up here at the house, and I fill it up every week. But you're talking about a massive volume of stuff that has to be sorted out. In the time investment. Hello, Matt. I don't know if you saw Matt, Louis, the Lone Star Picker was doing a thrift haul today, and he found a whole bunch of Willie Nelson t-shirts, and I was telling him to buy all of them and that you'd buy them from him.
Well, golly, throw him under the bus already without even getting him a chance to say yay or nay, huh? Sorry about that, Matt. You just crossed his mind.
Anyway, that's a little distraction. But yeah, I mean, we can recycle. We do recycle a lot of stuff. But you still, I mean, we're talking trailer loads of stuff that we're trying to get rid of. And a lot of it's a time investment. You know, we're still trying to make some money, and we'll spend all of our time sorting through, especially if you're doing a big unit. You're talking about a 10 by 20 unit. I'll probably haul 2 or 3 loads of trash out of there, and it would take me weeks to sort all the recyclables out of that. And that's time that I'm having to spend that we're not making any money. So, you know, we are running a business. As much as we try to do what we can, we try to save as much as we can. And I try to salvage. There's some stuff that everybody else has said, oh, that's all trash, that I have salvaged. There's some of the broken up furniture. I've got a whole stack of furniture that's not in great shape in my storage, that is all stuff that has to be repaired, and some of it needs some pretty major work. But I'm going to try to do some restoration on some of it, and some of it I list on Facebook Marketplace. I had a piece just a few weeks ago. It was going to take way more work than I had time to fix, and I sold it for like $15 on Facebook Marketplace, because the person that bought it from me was going to do the same thing. They were going to restore it.
Susanna, I want to tell you that I love the smell of old books too. There's something about the smell of old musty old books that just, I don't know. I like the smell of them too. So
I don't know if he wound up buying all of them. I know he had a handful of them, but I told him that those, especially with it being canceled concerts from this year, those are probably going to have some value to them. Just because of everything that happened this year and who it was. So I thought it was a good deal. I would have jumped on it if I had the money. Anyway, we've also had electronics that we've kept. We had one of the things that we had, and it just recently gave out on us and quit working. We found a charging station for cell phones.
Yeah.
And we've used the crap out of that thing over the last year since we've had it. And it finally gave out on us, but I was like, hey, we got free use out of it for a year. And that was great. It was a really high dollar charging station too. That thing sold for like $200 or $300 brand new. And we found it in a storage unit. We used it for over a year. It was well used before we got it. And we definitely made our money back on that unit. We made money back on that unit in cash alone. So it was basically free stuff.
I was telling her about how I like the smell of musty old books, and she's agreeing with me.
He bought all 40 of them. Awesome. That's great. That's what I told him to do. I told him it was a great deal. I told him if he didn't buy them, I was going to go back up there and buy them, because he's only about a 30-mile drive from me. So we got the charging station. Our kitchen, we have almost completely replaced our kitchen.
Especially silverware, since they disappear all the time.
Our silverware disappears all the time. We keep a lot of silverware. Dishes, a lot of the dishes either get donated or they're the lower end dishes. We haven't really had any, super high end daily dishware. But one of the things that we did, we upgraded our pots and pans, because we found a KitchenAid pot and pan set in one of our storage units. And of course, it's a high quality, high demand brand. We could have sold it, even if it was in a little bit of rough condition, but it wasn't in bad condition. We probably could have still sold it, but I wanted it. I love the KitchenAid products myself. And so I was like, hey, we got it. I'm keeping it.
Yeah.
As soon as I found it, I was like, we're keeping these.
I think for a while I kept on asking him for a plastic spatula. He was like, oh, I'll find one. It took him like 2 or 3 months, 4 months before I actually found a glass.
Yeah, well, I did find a couple.
Bought one for
I found a couple that were cheap, but they were falling apart, and I did find. And now I've got like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, in fact, we bought a one recently.
Well, yeah, that was different. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. That was hilarious. So, then of course the jewelry. So there's some jewelry that did not make it to auction. As soon as I saw it, I picked it, told him it was mine. I will actually show you a piece of the jewelry that
yeah, we find a lot of costume jewelry.
This one was the one that I picked was worth, I think, $80 or $90 for a bracelet. It was one of those name branders. So it just never made it to auction. I liked it. I hardly have any jewelry, so I was like, here. And I have to hold back on the jewelry, guys, because I want y'all to have some good stuff too. So I didn't take.
Yeah, she has a habit. She has a habit. If I let her loose on the storage unit, she'll keep all the good stuff and say, "Okay, here's all the junk. You can sell that to everybody and let everybody have all the crap."
I don't try to,
but she does. I mean, we went through a bag of purses, and the one purse she picked out and kept was the one Coach purse that was in there. And it was an authentic Coach. It wound up, we authenticated it was a real Coach. It was a nice Coach. It was a plain leather Coach purse, but it was the one and only Coach we had.
Well, it was nice. So I grabbed it. I didn't know if anyone wanted or not anyways. So, and then shoes. I've replaced some of my shoes, some really name brand shoes, 9 West, I think. All the...
Yeah, I don't mind calling dibs. We call dibs on quite a bit of stuff, but we also got to leave some of the good stuff for you guys.
Hey, Carlton.
Hey, Cha-Cha.
Yeah, I do.
Hello, hey, Carlton.
Yes, I do. And James has to remind me sometimes. Sometimes I just automatically do it, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to put this aside, not even look at that. But I do tend to, especially Christmas. I always go through Christmas.
I mean, I had a whole Christmas unit that I bought last year. I bought that Christmas unit for Jessica, and I said, okay, you keep what you want, and we're going to sell the rest. And that's what we did. She went through it. She kept what she wanted. Her sister came over. She picked out a whole bunch of stuff. We gave her a really great discount on some of it.
Still made my money back on that.
And we still made our money back on that Christmas unit before I ever listed a single thing online, because of nurses came in that were taking care of Emily. They bought Christmas stuff from us. Her sister bought a bunch of Christmas stuff from us. And we went up before we ever listed the first thing online. We had already made our money back and then some on that unit. And we're still selling stuff out of that unit. I still haven't sold all of it. I sold 90% of it. I still got a few items left that we're still selling.
Now, I will tell you that we came across a unit, and I did go ahead. It's, some of this stuff is really nice, and I did let James release it, but that's because I had already gotten stuff for this. So I will actually give you a sneak peek of what it is and what it looks like, but Victorian style. And you should see the skirt. The skirt is really nice. Can't really tell, but this is like pink right here.
Yeah, it's a kind of a mauve
pink
color. The color is not looking up great, but look at the detail, the roping on that, the tassels all the way around.
We have 4 of them.
There was a set of 4 of them in the unit, and this came out of one of our last storage units. And they even had Christmas bulbs that matched that color for their tree. So they had that color scheme for everything. They had table runners, tree skirt, the stockings, the bulbs on their tree, everything matched that same color scheme. And so working and listening, that's a good job, Cha-Cha. I hope that the cleanup is going well, and I hope that all that works out for you.
Same here.
So,
but yeah, so that's just a sample of something that I actually let go that was Christmas. I really honestly thought about keeping it too, but I could hear James in my ear saying, well, you already have four stockings or 5 stockings, and you already have a tree skirt that you picked out. So I was just like, well, forget that, even though I could probably interchange every other year. But I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna let him go ahead and sell that. That's what I thought. Jesse really likes the stockings though.
Oh yeah, he's been playing with them. He likes to pick them up and play with them and pull on the tassels. Of course, he likes anything he can put his hands on nowadays.
I had to kind of sort of take him away from him, so.
Been listing all day and took a break to get some sleep.
How long did your sleep last, Trent?
He's sleeping now.
Oh, okay. He's sleeping.
This is his sleep break.
Oh, but he says, but instead I'm watching you live.
Okay. I've done that before. I'm like, okay, it's time to go to bed. And I check in and, oh, somebody's live. And the next thing I know, I'm either listening to the live stream or I'm on the live stream.
Or he's laughing his head off. I can hear him. And I'm like, what the heck is he laughing at? Then I have to come in. It's either live streaming or it's Facebook. It's one of those two that he starts laughing at.
Yep. So also when we got the DVD lots, we got all those big units that we got just a couple of weeks ago, I guess about a month or so ago, and we had all those DVDs. We actually, when you have 700 DVDs, you're going to find something you like. So we actually kept a handful of the DVDs. We found some of the kids' DVDs that we kept. And
yeah, Jessica took the Peanuts. I think I took a Harry Potter, then that had the full set of Harry Potter. But then I went ahead and told James that he could go ahead and take it, even though I really wanted it. That he could take it. So I switched my mind. We had Game of Thrones, all of them except for maybe. Yeah,
we had the whole series except for 2 seasons of the Game of Thrones.
Yep.
And a bunch of those were brand new, still in the package. They had never even had the cellophane broke on them. So they were all brand new.
Yeah, they did. They were.
And we found, like I said, in between 2 storage units in 1 week, we found 700 DVDs. So going through that many, you're going to find a few that we liked. And we kept those.
Yeah.
So,
Susanna, Harry Potter, and I believe are they DVD or are they Blu-ray?
DVD.
They're DVD.
Yeah, we found the full Harry Potter series.
1 through 8.
On DVD.
The whole set.
And then we found a couple of the individual movies in other boxes as well. Mm-hmm. So we have some of the individuals as well as the whole series in a box set.
Yep. And then what else did I had the Peanuts. I was still getting the Peanuts together, the holiday thing. I only ran across 2 of them because we haven't gone through the other one. Maybe the other 2 are still somewhere in the loose DVDs that he has. But I kept that one. So I've already told him anything, Christmas videos, Christmas songs. I told him
what about the books? No, I actually haven't found a set of the books.
Yes, not the set, but we do have.
We have
1 or 2.
We have some of the books because we had bought them ourselves. But as far as finding them in a storage unit, no, we haven't found a set of the Harry Potter books.
We also R.J. Rowan or whatever.
J.K. Rowling.
No, Ryden, the one that made
Percy Jackson.
Yeah, the Percy Jackson books. Yeah, but it wasn't a Percy Jackson. I don't think. I think it was one of their books. So yeah, we found books like that. Just some of it just never makes it in. That's all. He didn't. I didn't know he had a copy of The Wizard of Oz. That is like one of my all-time.
Oh yeah,
he got reamed for it. Y'all don't even know he got reamed for that one.
when I came in, y'all got to remember back whenever I was auctioning off a bunch of those DVDs, I literally came in the door and I was on my auction with T within 30 minutes. I didn't go through any of the DVDs that I auctioned off that night. I just grabbed handfuls of DVDs and threw them in a bin and said, here we go. This is what we're putting up for auction. Literally, they came out of the storage unit. They came straight to the house and they went straight up for auction. There were some movies in there that Jessica wanted and they went straight to auction. She didn't have a chance to look at them.
And one of them was The Wizard of Oz. I don't know if
first editions. Yeah, the ones we have weren't first editions.
We'll remember though,
because we didn't buy them when they first came out. We usually waited a little bit, and they were usually by then they were in the second print. No, they may be first edition, but second print. I don't know. We'd have to go back and look at them.
Yeah,
but our set's not for sale. That's our personal set that we kept for the kids, and we're probably gonna read those with Jesse when he gets old enough to be into that kind of stuff.
Hi, Marie.
Hello, Marie. I haven't seen you in a while.
Hi, flipping critters.
Hey, Rebecca. Hope you're doing well. I hope the new auction channel's doing well for y'all. Hello, Marie. I hope you're doing fantastic. Haven't seen you around much lately. I know you've been busy and
right.
Y'all have had a lot going on up there.
Haven't seen Perlini either recently.
Yeah, I just saw her. She was over at Music's.
Oh, she's at Music's right now. Then I guess. Yeah. So we just he got room for the Wizard of Oz.
First
my favorite, one of my all-time favorites is the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I auctioned off the auction. I'm Wizard of Oz, and just as I was selling it, as I was showing it, when I was going through showing the DVD, she's like, "You put that in there," and I was like, "I'm on an auction. We'll talk about it later."
I wanted to pull it out so fast it was not even funny. I told him, if you ever run across another Wizard of Oz, you better not sell it. That's what I told her.
Let me give you a little hint, Trent. The Disney Black Diamond Classic special thing that everybody talks about, it's a myth. They ain't worth much. There's a few of them that are worth a little bit, but probably not really.
Mermaid, maybe because of the
no even that one that sells for like $10.
Huh? Interesting.
Now some of them will sell, but they sell for very, very little. Hey, Chris, hope you're doing fantastic today. Had an item, guys. If y'all didn't see his video, he had an item that's been sitting for 2 years that finally sold. So y'all need to check out Old
Chris.
School Pickers channel. And that's a great bit of advice for those of you guys that are trying to resell and are like, oh, I've been seeing a lot of these questions. I'm in a lot of groups on Facebook. I've been seeing this coming up a lot. It's people that are like, oh, I just listed this stuff a week and a half ago and it still hadn't sold yet. Guys, sometimes you list something on eBay and it might sit there for a year, 2 years, 3 years before it sells. Just leave it alone. It might sit there for a while. Some stuff will sell fast. Some stuff will take a while to sell. Just leave it alone. Go back and check the comps every once in a while. Make sure you're reasonably comped within the comps. But otherwise, leave it. Because you never know when the right buyer is going to show up.
Yeah. And Trent, you may just have to wait for the right buyer. I mean,
that's what it is. Basically, you're just waiting for the right buyer to show up.
Yep. Basically. So those are just a few of the things that we've kind of like saved. Besides toilet paper, everybody knows you just sold.
Yep. Toilet paper. You gotta keep the toilet paper. Hey guys, I had a unit. I did not win this unit, but I had a unit that had 5 big jumbo packs of toilet paper that was up for sale. It had other stuff too, but the first thing I saw when they opened up the unit
toilet paper
was 5 big jumbo packs of toilet paper.
Yeah.
Right there in the front. And of course, this was after the stores started having toilet paper for sale and it wasn't as scarce around here. I don't know. Some areas may still be having trouble getting toilet paper. We're not. We're pretty well stocked up on toilet paper around here now. But for a while, that's why I did the thumbnail the way I did, because I thought it was a little tease to the fact that we had toilet paper shortage earlier this year.
And guess what? We didn't have to worry
about toilet paper.
Because someone stocked up before everything closed down. Like,
we stocked up.
I had been hearing that. Well, you got to understand, I was in the hospital when all this went down. So I was hearing a whole bunch of stuff going on. And I thought, when I got out of the hospital, I thought, we need to stock up on some stuff. And one of the first things I did was I stocked up on toilet paper. So the whole time when people were having to stand in line for their toilet paper and they were worried they didn't have toilet paper, I had bought like 5 months worth. Something told me 4 months. So I bought 4 months worth of toilet paper. And right as we were getting low on our last one, the toilet paper came back around. So I didn't ever have to mess with that. So
can't have enough toilet paper right now. You got pregnant daughters.
Yeah, right. Hey, Boatman.
Hello,
Long time
Boatman.
No see. I have not seen you in a while.
It's because you haven't been on at the right time.
I know.
I've seen him all over.
I know you may, but I don't.
Buy it in bulk. That's what we've been doing. We buy them in bulk. We buy the big packs.
No, that would be Sam's, which I found a perfect Sam's ones that I want. That I want to buy a big bulk, but they're $18 versus our smaller, tiny one that's like worth $9 or $10.
Yep. But we keep a lot of the toilet paper. I mean, we haven't found big, massive packs in the units we've bought, but when we do find a roll or two, we do keep it. And then what else? Oh,
hey Louie.
bins.
We were just talking about you.
Anytime. Hey Louie, I was just telling Matt about your thrift haul. Hope you had fun today.
He was telling me about it too.
Yeah, I was telling Jessica about your Willie Nelson t-shirt haul today.
What are we looking for?
If y'all don't follow Louie over on Instagram, y'all should follow Louie. That's Lone Star Picker. Follow him over on Instagram. He did a little live on Instagram earlier today while he was doing a thrift haul, and he found a whole bunch of really great stuff.
It's actually kind of cute. Sorry, I started looking. James is looking down here, and I was like, "Oh, what's that?" Stuff I don't ever get to see.
Yep. So, yeah, it's been a fun time. We do keep sometimes toys. Sometimes we find toys and we give those to Jesse. Sometimes we give stuff to Emily.
Yep. Sometimes we buy them on auction.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but
remember, we buy sitting over there, Goofy.
Yeah, we buy some of the we buy some plush lots every once in a while too if we find them. At some of the auctions, we bought some from
Flippin' Flamingos. A lot of plush. A lot of plush. I weeded out my plushes, and I have some good plushes still that I could probably weed out, but I don't know if I'm gonna give them up.
Hey, Punisher.
Hey, Punisher. One of them's a gummy bear. A gummy bear plush. It's the grandpa gummy bear that I have sitting over here. I thought he was kind of cool.
Yep.
I don't think I'm getting rid of him, though.
So, like, plastic bins. We keep a lot of plastic bins. I don't have one that I can really reach, but we get a lot of, like, different sizes of plastic bins. I use those a lot for sorting my auction lots and stuff.
We also get a lot of those plastic bins that are, like, shelves that you, with the drawers.
Yeah, Matt came in and he said that he had talked to you. I told you, get them all. Those are going to be worth some money. They may not be quite yet, but they're definitely going to be worth some money. So that would absolutely, that was the right call. At $5 a piece, that was an awesome deal. And I mean, a bunch of those are going to sell for probably hundreds of dollars if you wait just a little bit on
them. Okay, so is there anything else you can think of that we would say? What about y'all? What do y'all keep whenever y'all go?
Yeah, we've kind of been talking about stuff that we keep out of storage units.
What do y'all keep out of storage units?
My shelving. Those of you that have seen my storage unit videos, where I'm actually over in my storage, the brown shelving units that I use to store all my eBay stuff on, all that came out of a storage unit.
Oh, it was a horrible storage unit.
She's mad at me because I bought that unit. She thinks it's the worst storage unit. I've actually made money on that unit with stuff that I've sold out of that unit.
Broken in there too that he had to get rid of. But not only that, but he overbidded it. He spent $10 on it.
I spent a whole $10 instead of $5.
He said, so what are you willing to give me? I was like, he said 10. And he goes, okay. The minimum is $5. He overbidded it.
Yeah, minimum bid was $5, and I gave him 10.
I will tell you though that the next round that he did that, he gave him 5. The next round he gave him 5 on one of those units. I think that one had like a toy airplane.
It was a trash unit. It was a unit I would not recommend most people buy, but I wanted that shelving in there. It was the main reason why I bought that unit. I still made money off of that unit because I still sold other stuff out of that unit that's already sold. I've got some stuff that's listed on eBay right now that came out of that unit. And so, you know,
what? It's just $10 is like 2 gallons of milk.
Not around here,
Not
Louie.
Around here, Louie.
I don't know where you're buying milk. What kind of milk are you buying? But we don't pay $5 a gallon
Maybe
for
it's
milk.
the almond milk or is it the good milk? I know. See, Marie's telling me the same thing. Where do you buy
here's
milk?
the thing: it's not even just location because Louis only lives 30 minutes from us.
We don't.
So I want to know where he's buying his milk
yeah.
that he's having to spend that much money on milk because we don't pay that much around here, and we're only a 30-minute drive away. So maybe you need to drive down here to go grocery shopping if it's that expensive up there.
Right, Carlton? That'd be like 5 gallons of milk.
Yeah, because our milk's only like a couple of bucks a gallon over here. I mean, less than $2 a
Louis
gallon.
Says,
like
I'm going over there to where store scavengers at. Yeah, that's about right, Tim. That's about how much it is over here where we live.
Yeah, that's about right.
I'm thinking maybe Louis gets. Do you get it, Louis, over at like almond milk? Is it almond milk or Mootopia or something like that? That's what I'm thinking. The reason why. Oh, $4.25 a gallon of milk in California, Carolyn. Wow.
And then let's see other things that we keep. Occasionally, I find tools. I'm not a big tool guy, but occasionally when I find tools, there's a few tools that I'll keep if they're woodworking stuff. We had one unit that we found a whole bunch of woodworking clamps, and Punisher will be happy, but will appreciate this. I don't know if the rest of y'all. I found a whole bunch of Bessie bar clamps and what are they called? The flat ones, the big flat ones. These weren't the little cheap ones. I probably got like $200 just in the clamps alone.
Okay, it's organic milk. That's no wonder.
Oh, he gets the organic milk. Hoity-toity now.
I'm not a fan of milk.
We get the cheap stuff.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan of milk. I will not drink it. Anything that looks like milk.
We get the
unless
store
it's ice
brand
cream or it's in cereal, and even then, I don't drink the milk out of the cereal.
Yeah, most of the milk we buy is for Jesse, honestly. So
yeah, we actually our milk goes bad over here.
Yeah, we're not big milk drinkers. We use it in recipes every once in a while. Most of the milk we go through right now is just because of Jesse, because he gets that.
Yeah, we used to always buy the half gallons or even.
I got a whole bunch of Bessie. I can't remember what they're. My mind's drawing a blank, but it's the big flat square ones. And they're not the small ones either. Some of them are like the 6 and 8 foot long clamps.
Yeah.
So those went straight to my woodworking shop.
But yet he's not interested in tools whatsoever.
I said I am limited in the tools. I find a bunch of tools. Most of them are cheap Chinese tools. Most of them are junky tools. And most of them go up for sale. But I do find some that are woodworking tools that are things that I want, and those I keep.
He says, yep, put them in his box. That's what he said.
The Bessies are mine. A woodworker can never have enough clamps.
See, I don't know what he's talking about. I've probably seen them, but I don't know what he's talking about.
They're sitting right over there. Some of them are.
Nope, don't see them from here. Oh.
Nope, I already called dibs on them, Punisher.
But so, anyways, yeah, we do go through a whole bunch of those times. Yeah, I'm not lactose intolerant.
She just doesn't like it.
It tastes too much. Like it won't even go past right here. It won't even make it down my throat before I'm gagging. But I think it's because it tastes like water. I don't know. I have no idea. And chocolate milk. I like chocolate milk, but it has to be ice cold, like almost frozen for me to drink it. If it starts getting warm, so.
And then I had, and outside of just storage units too, when it comes to tools, I'll look for other deals. We bought off of Facebook Marketplace. I got a bunch of hand planes.
He didn't know what he had in his hands.
Yeah, the guy didn't know what he had. I got it I drilled him down. He was asking for like 150. I drilled him down to like 75. And I got like 10 hand planes. And some of them were vintage hand planes. true vintage, like 60s and 70s hand planes. And he said, oh, some of these were like, oh, well, this is a Stanley, so it's not worth anything because Stanley tools aren't worth anything. What we didn't know is vintage Stanley hand planes can be worth some money.
Yeah.
The newer Stanley stuff is crap. But the old stuff, the stuff from the 50s and 60s of Stanley's can be worth some money.
Yeah.
So that's where you got to know your stuff. That's one area I don't know everything. I don't know a lot, but I do know quite a bit because of my time spent with woodworkers and woodworking channels on YouTube. I do know quite a bit about some of the hand tools and some of the values of some of the hand tools. And I have some contacts within that community that I can go to and I can say, hey, I found this. What's it worth? And they'll tell me.
Yeah, but I can't get them to.
One of my go-to sources is James
templates.
White.
And I still can't get them to get my templates made.
I had a number 5 and a number 4, and they are long gone. I sold them.
Yeah, they left.
Because when I'm buying stuff, I kept the planes that kind of the condition and the shape that I was willing to use them. Those old ones like that, honestly, I wasn't willing to use them, and I'm not a collector. I was buying them for personal use.
Mm-hmm.
But I bought a whole set of them, and the ones that I kept alone were worth more than what he was selling for.
Yeah.
And so I sold a few of them.
Was worth 125.
Yeah, there was one of them that I kept that was worth 125. It was a number 4. And then there were some that were not worth as much. Some of them were cheaper. Junky ones. I found one that was a little bitty I mean, it was like fit in the palm of your hand. It was a tiny little hand plane.
I remember.
It was more like a trimming plane or something.
Well, I'm glad you got a roof though now, Boatman.
Yeah, grab it all. Yep.
He said, grab it all and come to my shop and I'll teach you everything you need to know. Where are you, Punisher? You're not in Texas, are you? Is he in Texas? Punisher, are you in Texas? Anyways, so let's talk about our interesting week this week.
Yeah, so we had, we had an interesting trip to Dallas this week for Emily's doctor's appointment.
Boy, was it.
Emily had a doctor's appointment. This appointment has been rescheduled like 4 times this year because of everything that happened. We were supposed to go in early February, end of January, early February, and that's when Jessica first was sick and she was in the hospital. So we wound up having to reschedule it. But then
actually, it was actually in November. Then I rescheduled it.
Well, that was last year.
January.
It was in November last year, and then we rescheduled it, and then it wound up being in January. We rescheduled it again. Then it would have been in like March, and then COVID broke out, and everything shut down, and it got rescheduled. They were going to push it back to June, and then it got pushed back again to July, and then we finally got to see this doctor. It's been almost a year since we've seen him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a surgeon that's actually looking at doing a surgery on Emily, and it's a situation that's getting worse. So it's an issue that needed to be addressed. So we got up there, we go to see the doctor, and a lot of our trips to Dallas for medical stuff for Emily is covered by Medicaid because she's on Medicaid. And she has all these benefits.
I-710.
But Medicaid screwed up somewhere all over the place. Luckily, we had made our own reservations because sometimes they fall through at the last minute. And they had us scheduled going to Houston for a hotel for an appointment in Dallas. And they even had it in the file the appointment was in Dallas, but somehow they had us going from Austin to Houston to spend the night on the way to Dallas.
Yeah. That was an interesting thing.
So we wound up, luckily we had made our own reservations because they do sometimes screw things up. So we were able to get our own reservations taken care of, and we had a place to stay when we got there. I was emailing Robin the whole time we were there, and I finally got a hold of her Saturday night or Friday night, just before her live, and unfortunately we weren't able to hook up because we were leaving Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got some stuff that is going to Robin sitting in my car still, because if we didn't get it to her because we never hooked up with her.
But I think we'll keep it for a few more weeks.
Yeah, we're going to be back up there in a couple of weeks.
Yep, we're going to have to make another trip to Dallas.
You know, the Medicaid transportation system, they completely screwed us up, and they did not pay for this trip, pretty much. They gave us a little bit of our food money, and I think they wound up covering part of our lodging.
Nope.
They didn't even cover that?
They didn't cover anything except for our food.
Oh, I thought they were covering the lodging.
Not until later. You have to send in all the paperwork for that.
Oh, but I mean, it's going to be reimbursed. But
everything's going to be reimbursed, basically. But they were supposed to get it beforehand, and luckily, I had a feeling, and so
we had a plan. We had money set aside.
And my dad wanted to make sure that we didn't have any other kind of emergency, like flat tires. So he also gave me some money too. So we were good.
I got a lot of friends from Texas too. We need to do a Texas meetup.
Yeah, November. Oh wait, November the 5th in Dallas. We can do it that day. We'll just stay an extra day and stay in Dallas.
Marie. Hey, 710. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for joining us today. We're just chit-chatting.
But so anyways, we'll share a little bit of what's going to have to happen with Emily. Emily is going to she's going to actually have to have 2 different surgeries, but one of them is not going to happen until later on. They're trying to wait until she's 12 before they do the surgery. The other one's going to have to be done as soon as possible. So we have a lot that's going on. Oh, cool. We're gonna have to get with the doctors after this next time in Dallas to make some decisions because of the surgery that they're kind of wanting, because they say if the same thing happens again, the second time around is going to be even more dangerous or more complicated or something like that. So we're going to have to make some major decisions coming back from this Dallas trip. This next one.
Basically, the way what's happening is she has what they call hypertonia. So her muscle legs are very, very tight. They have a lot of high muscle tone. So they have to stretch those muscles out and get her hip. Because what's happening is her muscles are so tight in her legs, it has pulled her hip out of socket. And it's not even in the socket anymore. It's like up alongside. And so like here's the hip socket, and the hip normally fits in this. Her hip is like this. The bone isn't even in the socket. Yeah. And so it's extremely painful for her because every time she moves that leg, those bones are grinding against each other. And there's nerves that go right alongside those bones.
And they were saying she wasn't in any pain. They were saying she wasn't in pain. I was like, I don't know that. So it's causing her to gag in the morning.
Yeah, she's doing a lot of gagging. She's under so much pain that it makes her actually want to throw up. Mm-hmm. It makes her nauseous.
Mm-hmm. And she sometimes she'll just cry for no reason. I think we had to give her Valium all 3 days that we were down there, which is we had just gotten it.
Well, she was being moved around a lot and a lot more.
We don't like to give it to her unless it's necessary, but she was being moved around a lot. That was a hard drive, so we just had to give it to her.
Yeah, and because of her spasticity, her cerebral palsy, she doesn't handle long trips very well. So we can't drive up there and back in one day, which is part of what Medicaid was complaining, is that it's only a 4-hour drive, so we should be able to just drive up there, go to our appointment, and drive home. She can't sit in the car for that long. And I mean, even as it is with the 3 hour drive to get there, we have to stop because it's 3.5 hour drive. We have to stop somewhere along the way and get her out and let her out of the car for a little bit because she will just get really, really cranky and spastic in the back of the car, in her car seat. And it's just very uncomfortable for her. Um, so, yeah, she has, for those of you that don't know, Emily was, because there's a lot of people that have joined our channel since the last time we really talked about it. She has a very rare brain malformation that's called semi-lobar holoprosencephaly. And basically that means her brain did not form the division between left and right hemispheres. And the frontal lobe of her brain did not fully form. She has what they call microcephaly, which means her brain is smaller than it's supposed to be. Because there's
actually her bone age is like 3 years younger than what she is too.
Yeah. So because of that, she has very slow growth. She's nonverbal. She's not able to talk. She's not able to walk. She doesn't have muscle control over most of her motor skills. She's very spastic, which means she flails around a lot. And she can't control it.
Louie, we do stop. We actually make several stops along the way. We have a certain place. And Susanna, we do not have a pool, but it would not help because Emily is definitely afraid of the water. She will scream her head off.
She doesn't even like getting in the bath water. I mean, she screams her head off if she's in the water. And we don't know why.
She's got a little bit better at that one, but in a pool, can't do pools. We've tried on several locations. She like will hold on to me in a death grip, and I have a picture where she's holding on to me and she looks very terrified. Like she can't, she looks just very terrified. Like
Yep.
I wanted to cry after I saw the picture. Let's just put it that way.
She does. But so this is why we talk about, we have a lot of sacrifices we have to make. There's a lot of changes. Part of why we worked on building the business to where we could work. And it's part of why I tell people I'm a full-time dad, part-time reseller, and part-time YouTuber, because that's about the way it works out. I work part-time hours on the business and on the YouTube, and I spend a lot of time running to doctor's appointments, doing all the stuff, because when she has to go, I'm her driver on all of the Medicaid stuff. So if she has to go to a doctor's appointment, I have to take her.
And she will always be on Medicaid.
Yeah, she's on a program called MDCP, which is the Medically Dependent Children's Program. Basically, it treats her like an adult, and it's actually one of the reasons we delayed starting the business until we did. When we started the business is when we got her on the MDCP program. And that was because now any income before that, any income or any of her benefits were based on the household income. With MDCP program, along with a bunch of other benefits, one of the major benefits of it is it treats her as an adult as far as her benefits are concerned. So her benefits are based on her personal income. So if she's not working, which unless she becomes a YouTube star, she's not going to be working and making a living at it. She's not going to have an income. So as long as her income is zero, she gets her full benefits up until she turns 18. And then there's other programs that she'll qualify for once she turns 18.
She is 7, and let's just say dolls are bigger than she is. Some of the dolls.
She's 7. Her brother outweighs her, and he's only 18 months old.
Yeah.
He's 30 pounds.
Tiny.
She's only 24 pounds. She's getting longer, but she's very, very skinny and scrawny. She's still very small for her age.
Yeah, some of the dolls, the big dolls that would stand up, are about as big as her. Some of those big plush Elmo stuff that you get, they're bigger than she is.
Yep.
She's tiny.
Yep. She is a very, very, very tiny for her age. But she's growing at her own rate. She's developing at her own rate.
Very smart too.
She is smart. She's just kind of trapped inside a body that doesn't work. And so she's not able to communicate very well. And we have to try to figure out what it is that she wants.
Like, I will tell you this is an incident. James wasn't in there when it happened. No, she's homeschooled. I won't let her
She's
go.
on homebound.
Homebound.
She's in the public school system, but she's on a homebound program. So her teacher actually comes to the house and works with her through COVID and everything. They were actually video conferencing the
and that's probably going to
her
shut down
school lessons. But he's been coming to the house and works with her for an hour or so, a couple of times a week.
Now Emily knows what's going on, so I'm gonna tell. I don't even know if I ever got to tell James this, but when Jesse was littler and he was starting to roll around and crawl, he was on the couch with Emily, and I had him set on the other side, and he was deciding to crawl across Emily to try to get down off the couch. And she started, she didn't say like mom, she can't say mom, but she was going, and so I knew she was trying to get my attention. So I ran over there to see what she was attention. And what she had done was she had grabbed her brother, and she was trying to hold him down from moving. And she doesn't have that much strength, but she was able, she held on to him until I got over there. And, she was protecting him basically. And she'll let me know whenever he's doing stuff like trying to pull on her G button or something like that.
And she has like the ability to control some muscles.
No,
so
she does not get mad. It's weird, but no, she's pretty laid back.
Yeah, she's pretty. We can tell she does get frustrated with her inability to communicate, and we can tell that frustration. We can see that frustration on her face. She is, and one of the things with kids with her brain deformity, a lot of them don't have the ability to express their emotions. She's very expressive, and we can tell exactly. She smiles, she laughs, she frowns. She is very expressive with her face, and a lot of our communication with her is by eye movement, being able to see where she's tracking at different things with her eyes, as well as her facial expressions.
Well, and then I ask her a lot of questions too. I'll ask her, Emily, do you want this? And she will, if she opens her mouth, it means yes. If she doesn't and her mouth stays closed, it means no.
And she knows. I mean, like earlier today, she was kind of getting a little fussy, and I asked her a few questions, and she just kind of ignored me. And I said, "Do you need some medicine?" And she looked at me and she got a big old smile on her face. She goes, We knew right then that's what she needed. She needed some medicine.
She can't sign. She's too spastic for that.
She doesn't have the muscle control, the fine motor skill control necessary for sign language.
Yeah, she does try. I know that they were doing the wind one day on sign and her hands went up. There are some stuff that she will try. Her hand will kind of go like this when, but you would have to be looking, but she tries to wave goodbye to you.
Yep. She does try to wave.
Yeah.
And she's also, like I said, she's very expressive and she's very good with her eye gaze. And actually, one of the things they're working on with her schooling is they have it's kind of like a square box with different pictures to represent different words. And they're training her how to look at different pictures to tell us what she wants to say.
Now, she does know some words, like she can say some words. She can say yes, she can say no. Sometimes it's hard for her to get those out because of that brain deformity. She can even say more, like she wants some more, but it will be like a delayed reaction. Like she'll go more or she so there are certain words. One time she tried to say Elmo and she got Mo out. So yeah, it's been a while since I've seen.
She does. Words. She tries to speak. She tries to talk. Sometimes she gets trapped in her own body and she can't do what she wants to do. But she is very expressive. She's able to communicate. It's just sometimes it takes some trial and error to figure out what she's trying to communicate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But this whole trip to Dallas was it was one of her specialists. He's an orthopedic surgeon. Well, two of her specialists that we saw, but the main one was an orthopedic surgeon. And he's got us rescheduled to come back up there. He's going to do some injections in that hip to try to help relieve some of the grinding pressure and hopefully give her some pain relief, while we look at what we need to do to get her muscle tone under control so that we can do the surgery to fix the hip. But he only wants to do that surgery once, because he said once he has to do it, the second time if it pulls back out again, the second surgery is much more complicated and much more dangerous for her long term. So we definitely don't want to have to do it a second time if we can avoid it.
Flipping critters, it's a hit and miss with them. Yes, she can push the button, but it's a hit and miss because she's so spastic.
Sometimes she does.
She'll miss the button, or she'll
again.
So, but yes,
yeah, they're like I said, they're working on with her on the eye gaze technology, and one of the things that they're eventually, as they get her trained in how to do it, they're doing a very low tech approach right now because they're in the initial stages of teaching her how to use this and teaching us how to use it.
Yeah.
But eventually they're going to move to like an electronic eye gaze system that's like, it's basically, and I've seen other kids that have one, it's basically like an iPad that has the pictures, and she looks at the pictures and it can tell what she's looking at, and then it speaks for her.
Right.
And we've seen other kids
that bathroom, or I'm hungry, or they'll have stuff like that on there. So we try to go to a conference. We weren't able to make it. I think it was a 2020 conference, right?
Yeah.
We weren't able to make it.
It was in 2016.
No, there was no one when COVID broke out. We were supposed to go this summer, but
we were supposed to go to a conference for families of kids like her that have the same brain malformation over the summer. Unfortunately, because of everything that happened this year, it got canceled.
Yeah.
And we've been to this conference before. In fact, the T-shirt I'm wearing right now, Peace, Love, and Hope.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually from Hope. The medical diagnosis is called holoprosencephaly, and the medical abbreviation for holoprosencephaly is HPE. So the group that we work with, we work with them to learn and get resources, but we've been doing this for 7 years, and we also try to work with them to help other families as well that are just starting out on this journey. It's called Families for Hope, and the group is all about supporting families of kids with holoprosencephaly. And so when we went to their conference in 2016,
16.
It was 2015 or 2016. We went to their conference, and we met a lot of families. We made a lot of great friends.
Mm-hmm.
We've lost a couple. We lost one earlier this year to cancer. And she was one of the board members of the group, of the organization, and she was a phenomenal person to know.
Yeah, she was. She was really nice.
We lost her to cancer just a few months ago.
She did a lot of the fundraising.
But we've been supporting her husband and their kids, and because she had 3 other kids plus her daughter that had holoprosencephaly. And she was a full-time caretaker for the kids. That was her full-time job. And now he's trying to take on her job as well as still doing his own.
Right. But when we went to the conference, what were we talking about? You got off the subject.
But when we went to the conference, we met a lot of people, and we met some families that had this eye gaze technology that we're talking about. That was where we were going with it. In Texas, they do have some programs that pay for different things around our house. Part of it, some of those household modifications are a one and done deal, so we can use it one time in her entire lifetime. And we already kind of know we don't want to keep the house we're in. We want a better house that is going to be our longer term house. And so because of that, we're holding off on using those funds until we're sure we're in a house that we want to stay in for a while.
Right. So now the bike, even if they get a bike for her, especially made for her, I don't know if she'd be able to ride it.
Yeah, not a bike. I mean, she has a $15,000 wheelchair. We know because we saw the bill from the company that made it. Luckily, Medicaid covered.
They covered
all of it. It was $15,000 for her custom wheelchair because everything is customized to her because of her small size. The seating was custom.
Oh, they always have to
rig it. They had to
Everybody
rig.
Always has to
they had to do specials. They had to order special straps to hold her in and special harnesses and everything to keep her where she's supposed to be. But it was $15,000 for her wheelchair.
When she has surgery on her scoliosis, we're talking probably about another $15,000 to $25,000 wheelchair after surgery for that.
Yep.
So that one's kind of interesting too.
Yeah, because along with the holoprosencephaly, a lot of kids that have holoprosencephaly have a lot of deformities in other parts of their body, and a lot of them are outward. So they have deformities in their facial features, they have deformities in their limbs. Luckily, Emily doesn't have any of those. You can't tell there's anything wrong with her except for the fact that, she's 7 and can't walk or talk or move. But all of her deformities are on the inside. She was born with a cleft palate, which we got fixed last year. She was born with scoliosis. She is, like we said, highly spastic. She has high muscle tone. She has 2 extra partial, what they call hemivertebrates. So she has 4 extra pieces of bone
4.
in her spine that causes it to turn an S.
Like a guy does.
And she was born with 2 extra ribs from 2 of those hemivertebrates. Actually grew ribs off of them. So she actually has 2 extra ribs in her rib cage.
Yes, she does deserve it, but it wasn't $15.
Yeah, $15,000.
It was $15,000.
But
she is well deserving.
But this is just, this is just, the special equipment that she needs. This is why we have to be on Medicaid, because we couldn't afford buying her that wheelchair. We couldn't afford to buy. She has what's called a Versaform pillow, which is like a special pump up pillow that can form into the shape
to help her,
to fit her spine and stuff, to help her sit. That pillow alone is over $300.
Yeah.
And
can't afford that right now.
There's just so much of this specialized equipment that she needs that we couldn't afford if we didn't have a Medicaid.
And I usually do my research. So the Versaform pillow, I came across there's other stuff that I've come across, and as I read it, I'll read up on it. Then if they don't have insurance for it, or I will keep on calling until I can get it for her. So I'm the one that will look at anything that's new that's coming out that I think could benefit her. So on top of everything else I do, James will tell you. In fact, today it was all doctor's appointments today.
He was on the phone half the day today.
And I'll be on there half tomorrow because I have 12 specialists I have to go through. So
and one of the benefits we give through Medicaid and with everything with her, she does have full-time nursing care that comes into the house and takes care of her. But the nursing agency that we use doesn't always have a nurse, especially we live in a small town. And it's hard to get nurses out here as it is. And when all of the 3 nurses that we have happen to be unavailable for the day, all at the same time, we get left without a nurse because they can't find us a substitute very easily. So we've had a few days here, and tomorrow's going to be another one. We didn't have a nurse.
So I'm with Jesse and Emily.
Jessica's got Jesse and Emily for parts of the day. I'm having to spend a lot of time helping out around the house and running errands. And like today, I had to take Jesse to the dentist appointment and then run some errands and stuff while we were out. And so I didn't get a whole lot of work done today because we were taking care of kids.
And we have another one on Friday, a dentist appointment on Friday for Emily. So it's been something. So when I actually say that, or when we say our life is so chaotic and it can drop at the we are not joking.
Our schedule revolves around Emily.
Yeah.
Honestly, 90% of our life revolves around Emily and her care and her needs. And scheduling and us doing things, and even like me doing YouTube content and doing the stuff that we're doing for the business, it all revolves around Emily and she's the number one priority. And is not to lessen anybody else or anything else, but she requires a lot of care, a lot of attention, and a lot of time that most families don't have to do with.
But anybody who has a disabled child, y'all should know what we're talking about.
Hi, Casual. Thanks for joining us today.
Yes, hi, Casual. Yes, we're talking about Emily.
Yeah, we've been talking about Emily because we've had a lot of new subscribers. It's really been, I think the last time we went into this much detail about Emily and her disability, we were around 200 subscribers. So we've grown like 4 times over since then. So a lot of people that are following us now don't know about her disabilities and stuff. So we thought we'd talk about it.
Emily's favorite character, she actually has like, at first it was Elmo. Elmo is still one of her favorites, and Curious George. But she likes Elmo, Curious George. Now, if you go into the higher level, she likes to watch Goldie and Bear, and she likes Vampirina.
Yep. She loves Vampirina. She still loves Elmo. Yeah, she still loves Elmo. Elmo has been her favorite since she was a baby. She still loves Elmo. Anything Elmo, she automatically gets.
Yeah, but I had to weed Elmo out too, because that's just...
Yeah, we had to actually get rid of some of the Elmos.
Some of those Elmos,
because we had so many of them coming out our ears that we were like...
And if she likes anything that has her name in it, so Clifford the big red dog was one of them too.
And she's got all kinds of stuffed animals and stuff, and it's funny because if I'll like, she'll be sitting on the couch and I'll bring her one of her stuffed animals and put her arm around it and stuff, and she'll get all excited. Hi, Betty. I don't know why the notification didn't go out. I got mine. That's weird. YouTube's acting weird with notifications still. And I set this up. I set up the StreamYard this morning, so it had plenty of time for the notifications to be set up. I don't know. Sometimes it's weird because sometimes I'll set it up like 2 hours before and everybody gets the notifications. And sometimes I'll set it up even 2 or 3 days ahead of time.
My fake wine.
And the notifications still don't go out.
It's my fake wine.
And I've had times, I got a notification today about somebody going live 2 days ago.
Don't look at me.
I don't know.
I've gotten yours like a few hours later, so I know what Betty's talking about.
I know it, and that's what I'm saying. It happens, and I don't know what's going on with YouTube's notification system, but I get notifications like 2 days after the fact that somebody's going live, and I'm like, well, that doesn't do me any good.
Yeah. So you know what I'm talking about, since your son Colby also has the problems. It really does. It revolves. Yeah, and sometimes even a day in advance, that day gets all thrown to the wall.
Thank you, Louie. We try to be. We try to. We've tried to create a lifestyle. That's why we had to go to work for ourselves. Honestly, with Jessica being sick this year and having Jessie, there's no way I would have kept my job, working a regular job this year.
They would have done
as much as we've had some struggles and stuff with the way things have gone, and with taking the time off that I've taken off and not being able to work on the business as much as I should, we wouldn't have been able to survive a normal 9-to-5 job this year. We wouldn't have survived it. I would have lost my job and we would have been left with nothing. And as it is, we struggle a lot. I don't have as much listed on eBay. I had the whole Danica challenge, but then Jessica got sick the day after she gave me the challenge. I was like, well, I'm still going to try to do it. And then she got sick again and went back in the hospital. And so she's been back in the hospital again. And it's just been one thing after another. And then kids being sick. I didn't even get halfway to that challenge. I still want to get back on it. I still need to get back on doing the eBay listings and building up my eBay store. But it's been a struggle to find the time to do everything. Yes, Betty. It should have been mailed out last week. I got a lot of stuff that I've been behind. That's one of the things that we've been behind on shipping because of Jessica and being sick and me being busy with the kids and everything. But I am almost caught up on all my shipping finally.
I was just getting onto him today about
the gift cards got mailed out. Y'all should be getting those this week.
Patience has been my virtue. It's not this one's virtue. He's not very patient. But I kind of learned how to be be a little bit patient. Sometimes though, I will, if I've hit it like 5 or 6 times or 20 times, then I can lose my patience. But after the first 5 times, I'm still good. She was saying that Toby has taught her a lot of patience. And so I was saying, I'm pretty patient. The one that's not very patient is you.
I don't know why you think I don't have patience.
Well, you were getting more upset about everything last week than I was. But what it is
I wasn't upset.
A lot of it also has to do is he sees that I get stressed out a little bit. And that can cause what? Your blood sugars to rise. So he's kind of worried about me in those aspects, knowing, luckily, which he didn't know, but I had kind of sort of saved a little money, knowing that we've had troubles in the past with everything. So I made sure that we had enough to be able to go on this trip beforehand. And so it's lucky. We got lucky. So something just told me. I always get told, and I usually go by my instinct. And if my instinct tells me something, I go by it, and half the time I'm right and we're good. If I don't listen to my instinct, then we're in a bad situation. But my instinct was telling me, put money aside. In fact, guys, before COVID hit and I was in the hospital in January and February, I came out. I forced James to file our income tax. I said, go file our income tax. He wanted to wait. And I said, no, you need to file it. So when everybody else was sending their income tax money, we didn't spend our income tax money. I saved it. And I said, we're not touching this. We're going to save it because I have a feeling we're going to need it. And I bought money. I bought the toilet paper. And then I also made him buy bulk meat. So when everybody was having that shortage of meat that was going around the country, we didn't have to worry about it because I had already bought a whole bunch of meat. Yeah,
we have a chest freezer that we bought at Sam's a couple of years ago, and that thing was a lifesaver this year.
And you don't understand. I had people telling me, you're crazy. But something in me just told me to do this stuff, and I did it. And so we didn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, we buy these meat packs from our local butcher shop. It's a little bit more expensive than going to the grocery store, but it's a much higher quality of meat. We got a whole bunch of meat. We got
like 50 pounds.
I mean, we got 100 because we got 2 meat packs.
Yeah, that's right. We got 100.
And we filled that freezer up, and that's what kept us going through the summer. I mean, we ate off of that freezer, and we were able to make it through the whole summer without needing to buy any meat because we had plenty.
Yeah, and usually it works itself out because if you go 3 or 4 months, sometimes you're spending about $100 to $200 on meat. So I mean, if you just take that out, all we had to do.
We're working on it.
We're working on that.
We're actually, the butcher shop we usually go to isn't doing their meat packs right now. So we're looking, we got another one that we're talking to that we think we're going to go to. It's a little further away. But
is there any venison? I don't
know. No, we don't get the venison. We just get the regular beef.
No venison. But I do know that they, like, if you shoot a deer or whatever, they'll butcher it for you.
Yeah, we're expecting, honestly, we're looking at we're preparing right now because we're expecting things to go back on lockdown once November and December hit.
Yeah. There was stuff that I had already bought, like toilet paper.
And that's the other thing is, except for business stuff and doctor's appointments, we've pretty much still stayed somewhat self-quarantined.
Oh, and yeah, I have stuff delivered and I have curbside delivery.
We have our groceries delivered. So unless we absolutely have to go somewhere, we're not going anywhere. We're staying home. And a lot of that's just because of Emily with her disabilities. She does have a compromised immune system. We don't want to take a risk on somebody going out, picking something up and bringing it home. 90% of the time, if anybody leaves the house, it's me. Because Jessica's taking care of Emily and Jesse and coordinating the nurses and the doctor's appointments and all that kind of stuff. So most of the time, if somebody does go to run errands, it's me.
Well, Michelle, if you think about it, the holidays are coming up, so you have kids that are going to be
and
near family. They're going to start gathering again.
We're getting into all the normal stuff that happens at this time of year,
right?
And then you have, there's so many other things that could be masking the COVID virus that you don't know if you got it. I have severe allergies, and we're starting to get into the worst time of year for my severe allergies. So I'm going to be sneezing and coughing and all that stuff almost constantly for the next few months. And we're hoping it's just my normal allergies and not COVID because.
Yeah. Yes, we do have our groceries delivered. Hey, Robin.
Hey, Robin.
We have our groceries delivered, and right now HEB is doing curbside delivery and delivery till tomorrow for free. So.
Yeah, up here where our seasons are opposite of y'all's. Yeah, this election is getting dirty, and I think things are going to get worse politically after the election, depending on who wins.
Yeah.
Either way, whichever side wins, things are going to get really nasty politically in this country.
Yeah, I can see it going. I'm not going to say who I'm for and who I'm not for.
Yeah, I try not to talk about politics on this channel, but let's just say that I don't like American politics. I think it's a nasty, dirty business, and it's just about slinging mud. And there's neither side that is being totally honest, and neither side that is totally in the right or in the wrong.
Oh, and hey, Robin, we're coming back your way pretty soon, actually, in November, the beginning of November.
Yeah, Robin, we're going to be back in Dallas November the 5th for another appointment with the same doctor we just saw. So hopefully we'll be able to hook up when we're there this time. We got your number now, so now we can call you instead of emailing you.
Well, no, we don't have to be at home because they just deliver it to our front door. I mean, unless you have stuff that you ordered that was frozen, then I would suggest having
we need to be, somebody's usually, there's almost always somebody here.
But they never knock on our door. We just have to open up our door and we know what time.
Yeah, they send us a text message that says your delivery's on the way. They're a minute away. So we always know they're on the way.
They never knock. They never knock on our door. But
I was just talking about my allergies and coughing and stuff.
But with that being said, we don't have to be home. I would be home though if you had frozen stuff that is being delivered or anything cold. But
yeah, we usually know when the delivery's coming, so we try to be here so we can put the groceries away. I wouldn't want to leave them sitting out on the front porch because the neighbors might decide to take off with them.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, but we order out, so we've ordered from our Whataburger and that gets delivered. They don't even knock. They just drop it off and leave. And sometimes we don't even know they showed up. If somebody isn't sitting by the front door and doesn't know somebody just came by, we may not even know. We had one time that they just dropped our food off and was gone. And like 15, 20 minutes later, we went out there and we had food missing.
Well, Betty, I do 3 things. I do curbside, delivery, and shipping. So depending on what it is,
when we order from Sam's, we get it shipped. Yeah. If we're ordering from the grocery store, right now they're doing free delivery. If they're doing it for free and they're not going to charge us extra for it, we're going to take advantage of that. Yeah. But we also do the curbside pickup, and I can go through they have a drive-through at our grocery store, which is where we get all of Emily's meds. So I can do the curbside pickup, drive through the pharmacy, and head home and never even get out of the car.
I never get out of the car. Yep. And then I also, anything that can be shipped that's, non-perishable, I have it shipped by Sam's. Yeah, Emily, we're pretty much quarantined and we're going to probably stay that way. We will probably go see my dad. I don't really want to see my in-laws because I don't think they've been like we have, but I know for a fact my dad has.
Yeah, they're not keeping isolated. They've been all over the place. And they live in San Antonio. Mm-hmm. San Antonio was one of the harder hit areas around here. And so now Jesse spent some time. When Jessica was sick in January, he spent about a month and a half with my parents in San Antonio. But with COVID and everything now, we haven't seen them since pretty much.
Yeah, we haven't seen them at all. And I'd rather go to my sister because she's a little more quarantined than they are, and plus they give them
she's a little more isolated.
They're grandparents too, so they like to give them treats that he shouldn't really be having.
Yep. Yeah. Plenty of dry goods, plenty of toilet paper.
Yeah, I kind of avoid the news too. But sometimes it's kind of hard because I have a lot of nurses that look at the news.
Yeah, we have a lot of people that are constantly talking about the news and everything that's going on.
Do what part? Did y'all do the park again?
Yeah, see, and that's the thing is like some areas, or this is something a lot of people don't understand. Some areas are off of lockdown. We've been off of lockdown for a long time. In fact, we were one of the first areas to come off of lockdown. But there's still a lot of areas around the country and around the world that are still on lockdown. They have not left their house in months. And that's why there's so much opportunity, though, in this business. As a YouTube content creator, there's a lot of people that are still sitting at home watching YouTube all day, every day. But then there's a lot of people that are ordering online and buying stuff online, used goods. So if you can find and source those household items, those necessity items, especially like your bath soaps, your soaps, and that kind of stuff.
So let me tell you,
I don't think most of the sites are still not allowing toilet paper and that kind of stuff.
Let me tell you the new shortage. So I was reading on the news the other day that popped up on my thing. The new shortage is refrigerators and washers and dryers.
Well, I'm not selling those on eBay. I'm sorry. That's going to be
I know, but I'm just letting everybody know. So if you want a refrigerator or your refrigerator goes out, good luck because it's taking months to come in some areas. Yep. They're saying refrigerators and washer and dryers.
You got to think about it. Most industries were shut down. Most factories and industries were shut down for months. So there's going to be shortages in all the stuff that those factories produce.
Washer and dryer. They're saying it's the shortage because people are staying at home and they're starting to pay attention to what's going on in their house. So they're replacing old stuff with the new stuff. So that's why there's the shortage that's going around. This one doesn't have anything to do with this, that some of the stuff shut down. Although I don't understand why we're having problems with these sodas around here. Anybody else having problems getting sodas? Like the type of sodas you want? I'm just wondering because here it's like they run out of the 24 packs and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, you have to. I like that. When you do your grocery orders, they sometimes do substitutions. Our store, they always they give us a list of the substitutions and then they allow us to verify whether we're willing to accept them or not. Because some of those substitutions are not equal to what they're substituting, and sometimes they exceed what they're substituting. So
yeah,
I like that opportunity to substitute, but at the same time, they don't automatically do it. Computers, lawnmowers, pretty much everything is being on. Yeah, that's true. But there's a lot of people in our country and around here that are not taking the social distancing properly. I mean,
we went to Dallas. Let me just tell you this. We went to Dallas. I walked into Buc-ee's with my mask on. I was just going to the bathroom. I wiped the bathroom down with the hand sanitizer inside the toilet or whatever. But when
Diet Coke is running out.
Okay. But when I was going into the bathroom, 2 women did not have their mask on at all. They walked out a Buc-ee's restroom without a mask. Then I turned to look on the guy's side to see if there were any guys walking out. There was an older gentleman that didn't have his mask on. I saw 4 different people without their mask on inside Buc-ee's. I thought they were supposed to be telling them they had to wear a mask, but right? They will. Well, I have to drink diet. I can't drink Dr. Pepper, but yeah.
Well, we're running it.
Dr. Pepper.
Y'all better watch it, Louie, because if I went to HEB earlier today and they are running out of Dr. Pepper, they're already out of the diet and they're running out of the regular.
Yeah, so you might want to stock up on your diet Dr. Pepper. Or no, your Dr. Pepper, not diet, sorry. Your Dr. Pepper. That would but I would start, guys, seriously, don't go rush out to the store, but I would start slowly, like Betty said, start getting ready for November, December, January.
There's a bunch of people that are not wearing masks at all, but there's a lot of people that are they're trying to make a nod at it, but they're not wearing them properly.
They'll underneath their
nose, or they're sitting there pulling it down and they're messing with it and touching it. And some of them you can tell it's the same mask that they've been wearing for like 8 months and they've never washed it, which is stupid. The reason you get a washable mask is to wash it. I don't know, but
we try to be.
There's a lot of people that are not taking it seriously enough. I think there's some people that are taking it overboard, and there's some people that aren't taking it seriously enough.
We take it seriously because I just had an aunt who passed away from COVID-19.
You know, we've had multiple people.
People around us have gotten it, and
we've had people that have gotten sick from it that did recover, but they're still sick. They don't have the COVID virus. She was
wearing a mask too, guys.
But there's a lot of people that have been sick that are struggling to get over it, that are still having residual effects months later. There's a lot of people that we know that have lost their life to COVID. And I know there's been some reports of people that were, oh, look, this guy came in with a gunshot wound and died. He died of COVID. I know there's been reports of falsifying numbers, but we've actually known people that specifically had COVID and did die from it. So not all reports of it being as deadly as it is. That being said, it's a very small percentage of the population that's actually dying from it. But those people that are at high risk need protection.
Betty, I'm not too sure that the president isn't wearing his mask. I think what's going on, and this is just my opinion.
I don't know. There's a lot of.
This is just my opinion, so please don't shoot the messengers. I'm not going to go too much into politics. I believe he is wearing his mask, but he is in and out with so many different people talking to them that I think, you can't talk with your mask on, so they remove their mask, and I think people are catching that, because he's got a whole bunch of, press on him. So I think that's what they're catching, is maybe he may have come from somewhere else. He was probably wearing his mask. And of course they're going to attack the fact that he's not wearing a mask, but he did admit that in the debate that he wears his mask. But we're just probably not seeing it because that's what they're focusing on, and they're making us think. But I believe he probably is, because didn't he say he had those Harlequin injections that he was saying? Yeah, I know, Lone Star Picker. But that's just what I'm thinking.
Y'all are going off on a topic that I really don't want to get into on my channel.
That's what I'm thinking. I just said that's what I'm thinking. But I'm not going to go into anything else. I agree with you.
I mean, he came here to Michigan towards the Ford plant, and he refused to put his mask on. And that's the thing, is if the politicians are refusing, the people that you're seeing that are, mandating what the public should be doing are not following them themselves, well, why should the public? I kind of agree with it, but I disagree with it to a degree too. So I've always lived with the philosophy, I can't control what anybody else does. I don't care who they are, what position they have. The only person I have any control over is myself, and I can control everything that I do to take the precautions I feel like I need to take. And that's what it comes down to me anyway. But everybody has their own opinion and their own view on it. He did drink a gallon of beef.
I have not heard that, Louis, but I wouldn't be surprised if you heard that.
I mean, there's a lot of crap that's been blown up in the media that's not true on both sides, Republican and Democrat. Again, I don't want this to become a political discussion, and that's the rabbit hole.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I just wanted to tell you that I believe that he probably has been.
That's like the fifth time I've said it.
But like you said, Betty, I don't know. I wasn't in Michigan, so I can't say anything. With that being said, what are your plans for Thursday? What are our plans for Thursday?
I don't have plans that far ahead right now because I don't know what's going to happen the rest of this
week. Right? With the drop of the hat, we'll probably have something else going on.
I do actually. I don't know. I'm trying to get caught up, and I'm hoping with where I'm at right now, I should be completely caught up on my shipping by Wednesday or Thursday. And so I'm trying to get that done. That's my number one priority right now when I'm working, is getting the shipping done.
Don't worry.
Which is part of why I haven't had any videos coming out, is because I'm trying to get that done. And I don't really have a whole lot to do on the shipping.
I asked him, have you gotten your shipping done yet? And he's like, no. I was like, well, you need to get it done. So just know that I'm on him on that.
Well, I'm working on it, and I've gotten some progress made. I've got almost everything that I have packed. I have a couple of things that I'm still trying to get boxes for that are special shapes and sizes. But most everything is packed up, and actually I have a bunch of stuff that I just need to print out the shipping labels for now and get them out tomorrow. And then once I get that shipping cut up, we're looking at putting together another auction, doing some more sales, and trying to get some more stuff moved on it out the door. And now that we're not in the hospital and everything, hey, treasure hustlers.
Hi.
Hope y'all are having a fantastic
almost
day.
Boat Man, because there was something that I wanted to shout out.
Is that big old pile of boxes that y'all had stacked up on your Facebook page? All your trash out of your dumpsters you're trying to shove off on people?
For your Facebook comments, she said. Okay.
That's what I was talking about.
Guys, we're going to be in Dallas. Anybody who is, maybe we could all do a meetup in Dallas, or, November 5th, or us Texans that are Texas, are not even from Texas, but are
not yet. I've been meaning to set one up, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet, Michelle. As soon as I have one, I will be letting y'all know.
Bubble wrap. Y'all have yet to see the bubble wrap. Oh, well, y'all know. See, I told you, I thought you were excessively putting that bubble wrap in. They're getting you on the bubble wrap. They've been making fun of you for the last 2 times about how much bubble wrap you put in your bag.
Hey, I have had breakables that shipped out and broke. I've had stuff shipped to me that shipped out and broke because it did not have enough bubble wrap. If I send it to you and it's breakable, I'm going to make sure there's plenty of bubble wrap. I promise.
Yeah, I've asked him before. I was like,
the other thing I'm working on, and I've started recording it, but I haven't got it finished. I got to get it recorded and edited and uploaded. I actually have a video that's coming out this week, hopefully.
Is it your special editor? Your editing staff?
No, that's the other channel.
Oh, never mind.
And that one's already online. Oh. No. This one is a buy it now. We're going to try a buy it now video. And I actually have a whole bunch of artwork that we've picked up in some of our various storage units. We're going to set some buy it nows and sell it off. We're going to get some really, really good deals on, because we already know the values of the stuff. I already know what I'm going to sell it for. And some of this stuff is going to be heavily discounted. Mainly because I would rather sell it to somebody that's a subscriber than somebody who watches our channel than to somebody on eBay that may not appreciate it as much. So we're going to do that. They are going to be plus shipping because it depends on where they're shipping to is how much it's going to cost. And some of this artwork is pretty substantial as far as the size and the weight. So it's going to be pretty substantial on the shipping. But
you got some nice pieces.
There's some really, really nice pieces, and we're discounting it more than enough to cover that shipping cost. Is still getting a great value. So we're got a buy it now video coming out later this week. It's going to be kind of a different type of video than what I've ever done before. So I'm really trying to record it and edit it in a way that it really does the products that I'm putting up there for sale. But it's all going to be artwork. So it's going to be for those of you that have seen some of the show and tells we've done, some of the Billy Hicks artwork that we showed off, which is the pencil drawings. I've got some of those that are going up for sale. Some of the Native American artwork that we showed off is nice going for sale. Some of those, one of them that is going up for sale, the valuation we have on it is between $500 and $600, and I'm selling it for way less than that. So we got that. We've got some angel pictures that we picked up at Goodwill that we're going to be selling. So it's going to be a buy it now. It's going to be quite a bit of stuff, but I've got like probably 7 or 8 lots that we're going to be selling in that buy it now video. So it's something new. We're testing it out. We're going to see how it works. That'll be coming out sometime between now and Friday. Well, it's not going to be coming out now because it's not done yet. It will be coming out hopefully by Friday. So that's one of the things I'm working on behind the scenes. And again, for those of you guys that are building YouTube channels, I do have the new channel. It's under my name. James Pruitt is the name of the channel.
If you're new here, please subscribe. If you like what you hear, please subscribe. If you have any questions, just list them out. We'll try to answer any kind of questions y'all have. Hit the bell.
Mo and Bird are having an auction Friday at 6. Who's Mo and Bird?
Yeah, who's Mo and Bird? James will probably know. I won't. And Betty, I've missed you. I was talking about you. I said I hadn't seen Betty in a while. I've seen you on other channels, but I have never seen you. I haven't seen you here. I guess because you're not getting the.
Yep.
Notice.
Yeah, I don't know why everybody didn't get notifications until late. We started at 10:15, which is what time we schedule it to start every week. We were here right at 10:15, so
I think that's what we're going to do from now on, about 10:15.
Yeah, that gives us enough. The reason we do these late night lives, and I've been told by other people I should do it earlier in the day, but with the kids, especially like this week, we didn't have a nurse, so we had both kids, and we didn't have, if I do it, I can sometimes do them. If we have the nurse, Jessica's got Jesse, I can do them during the afternoon, but then Jessica can't join me. So in order for Jessica to be able to join me, we have to wait till after the kids have gone to bed, and then we can get on and do the live show.
But starting November 9th, we might
be able to change it up a little bit, because November the 9th, Jesse goes into daycare. They're actually having daycare in school, at least for now. We'll have to see how things develop as the month goes on.
I felt like it was pretty safe because they said that they were going to have somebody in the room that's constantly.
Right, but if we go on a lockdown again, we're right back to where we started.
So you might get a few lives.
So we still, if we can get at least a few weeks, we might be able to get some more stuff done during the daytime. She's also going to be helping me once he gets into the daycare. If she's not got her hands full with him all day, we're going to start showing her how to do the eBay listings and how to help us. And we're going to start doing some more stuff to get the business coordinated and cleaned up and moving forward, because that's going to be a huge help, at least on the days when we have nursing.
Yeah, and hopefully I will have someone watching Jesse when we go to Dallas. So hopefully we can meet up with some people in Dallas.
Oh, thank you, Jackie. So, yeah, there's a link to my YouTube channel. Anybody that's building and growing a YouTube channel can check out that channel. Subscribe to our content. We're doing a lot. And most of it has been basically... hey, Pickle Joy. Most of what we're doing on that channel, honestly, I have about 100 videos already planned on that channel, and it's all answering questions that people have asked me through this channel. The whole reason I started that is it confuses the algorithm when you start diversifying your content into something that's totally irrelevant. And it's really hard on building a subscribership that way. So that content didn't really fit on this channel, but I'm getting constant questions on how we built our channel, how to do different things behind the scenes, how to do some of the stuff inside YouTube Studio. I have a whole series. I got one out. I've got a whole series of videos on going deep into every single page on the YouTube Studio and how to do everything inside there as a creator. And so we're hoping to help some people out with being able to build their YouTube channels, being able to start live streaming, start doing all the stuff that we do here. So that's what that channel is all about. If you're interested in that, check it out and subscribe to our content.
Anybody who subscribed to Prosperous Caregivers, me and James will be talking about revamping that.
Yeah, we're also working back on our Prosperous Caregivers channel, which is our channel for supporting families with special needs kids. We're going more in depth. We talked a little bit earlier about Emily and her disabilities. That channel is all about what our life is like living with a child of disability,
and if you
like
need
Emily.
Any services that you don't know how to get.
Yeah, we cover how we go in detail. We go into the services, some of the services that we do.
When you're in the hospital, when you're got those long stays, stuff like that.
Financial planning. How do you, manage your finances, and how do you get out of debt when you have so much outgo? And
We can start over. Well, I said that I had my wine, my fake wine.
Hello, Invisible Bitter. Thank you for coming. I'm so sorry because we are actually saying goodbye.
Yeah,
we've been on for almost 2 hours now. We do appreciate everybody that's come, everybody that supported our channel and supported our growth. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Please continue watching our videos. Please share these out with other people. We are still trying to grow. We're at 151 subscribers, and we're trying to get to that 1,000 subscriber goal, Bitter, and then we're going to continue going from there. I will have him
repeat himself about the painting. So since they're late, he's going to be doing some one-off auctions.
No, not auctions. What we're doing is one of the things that I've been working on behind the scenes this week, and part of why I haven't put out a video is I've got a special video I'm putting together, and it's a buy it now video. Basically, we're gonna test out a buy it now, and it's gonna have about 7 or 8 lots, and they're all artwork and stuff that we found inside of our storage units. So some of them we've shown off on some of our videos and some of our other stuff. But this whole video is going to be basically, it's just going to be buy it now. We're going to show one lot at a time, explain what you get with the lot. They are going to be whatever we put the buy it now price plus shipping, because we can't really guesstimate the shipping until we know where it's going. But we do have 7 really good lots, and it's all artwork that has come out of the storage units that we found over the last year. Except for a couple of pieces. There's a couple of pieces that we picked up at Goodwill that we still think are really nice pieces. That's why we picked them up. Hi, Lucinda.
Hi, Lucinda.
So we've got that coming out. I'm hoping to have it out by Friday. And then other than that, we're going to be doing another live on Thursday. I'm trying to get things done to where I have an auction to put up on Thursday. But we're not sure yet if that's going to work out or not. Part of it's going to depend on nursing care and family and other things getting done.
Well, the good thing is I don't have a doctor's appointment scheduled for Thursday.
Yep. So anyway, thank you guys all for showing up. We really appreciate you.
We love y'all. I hope y'all have a good morning.
You all have a great day. Thank you for joining us once again. Peace out.